Hello BookTube, Sarah here, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm coming to you with my August 2017 book club picks. I realized when I recorded my Friday reads on Friday that I was calling it my Pick Me a Book, which is what I had been calling it. But in reality, this is no longer just picking a book for me. This is picking a book for all of us who are doing the book club. The Novel Expectations Book Club, if you guys are unsure what that is, we have a Goodreads group. Please check the description box in the down bar below to a link to the book club if you want to join, and join us in reading this month's selection, which we are going to be picking. So how this works is, on Friday, when I did my Friday reads, I had you guys pick me numbers between 126 and 150, and then I corresponded those numbers to books on my TBR, and here they are. We've got 6 books to talk about. So I'm going to talk about all 6 of these books, and then I want you guys to vote in the down bar below, or in the comments field below. Please post what book you'd like to read this month. The book that gets the most votes is the one that we're going to read for August. So let's jump right in and get started. So I do apologize, I did not write down who picked these numbers, but the first number picked was 135, and that corresponded to actually the 1.5 books in this series. So the novella that comes after book number 1. So of course I jump back to book number 1. And that is Cold Ridge, and that is part of the Cold Ridge / U.S. Marshals series by Carla Neggers. I always feel weird saying her name, that I'm going to say it wrong and offend a whole bunch of people. This is a romantic suspense novel about a woman who takes a job photographing this historic home. And when she arrives at the home, she finds a dead body. And the story goes from there. And of course she runs into her old flame, because that's always the way it works. And he pretty much had left her at the altar. And of course now they have to work together to find out who done it. So this sounds like a really great romantic suspense. Her novels are absolutely fantastic. So this is the first pick. The second number picked was 130, and this was actually picked by 2 people. And when I saw what book it was, I have to admit I was a little apprehensive about even sticking it on the list, because it is a nonfiction novel, and I have no problem with nonfiction. I love nonfiction. I love nonfiction on audiobook. But when I looked at it, I checked to see my library didn't have it on audio, but Audible does, for $1.99. So if you guys are interested, check out Audible for $1.99. And the book, I should tell you that, is The Lost Tribe of Coney Island, Headhunters, Luna Park, and the Man Who Pulled Off the Spectacle of the Century. And this is by Prentice. This is, as I said, a nonfiction novel, and it's about a man who takes this tribe from the Philippines, I think, and brings them to Coney Island. I think is Coney Island in New York? And like puts them on display as if they're some sort of freak show or circus. And it sounded so interesting, and I think I got the ebook for like a really great Kindle Daily deal, and it sounded really interesting because, as you guys know, I love anything historical. And this one sounded really good. But again, it's not one I'm sure I would probably read, like physically read. This would definitely be an audiobook. But like I said, if you guys think this is the book we should read this month, or even if you're just interested in reading this yourself, and you like audiobooks, check Audible out for $1.99. I picked it up irregardless. Or, excuse me, I picked it up regardless if we pick it or not this month, because I do eventually want to get to it, and to have it on audio is going to be super fantastic. The next number picked was 137, and that corresponds to book Set the Night on Fire by Jennifer Bernard. This is book number 1 in the Juniper Point series. As you can probably tell from the cover, it is a contemporary romance. There will be a lot of sexy times in this book. Jennifer Bernard does do books with sexy times. She does really great books. And this one is about a firefighter, and he comes back to town to clear his name and runs into the woman that... Now, they said something happened, that last night. They don't allude to what it was, but I don't think it was a tryst between the 2 of them. I think she witnessed him doing or not doing something that is impacting his return to town and the way people are talking behind his back and things like that. So it sounds really good. It's Jennifer Bernard. In my opinion, she's a fabulous writer. I read one of her books earlier this year from her baseball series that I absolutely loved and gave it 5 stars. So yeah, if this one is picked, I will be absolutely happy about that. The next 2 numbers that were picked were actually books that are already on my August TBR. I know, weird, right? 500 and some odd books on my TBR, and 2 of the ones that people picked were already on my August TBR. Who knew? So what I did was, I was going to do like a randomized, like just do a random number to pick new books for these 2 numbers. But what I actually decided to do is that in July, the book that came in second place, like the next most popular book that was picked for July only lost by a single vote. So I decided to bring it back for another chance to see if it wins the popular vote here for this month, for August. And that book is Fall from Pride by Harper. It is the first book in the Home Valley series. This is a Amish romantic suspense novel. So I really don't think that there are any sexy times in this book, but it sounds really good. It's about fires that are happening all over Amish country. Harper, I have read her before. She does amazing. I actually think this one borders more on just suspense, and the romance is like a very secondary story to the actual, thriller mystery part of it. This one I am really excited about reading. I have a couple of books in this series, and yeah, so again, let me know if this is the one that you would like to read this month. The other book number that just happened to already be on my TBR was 128. The previous one was 127. And again, it's just funny that they were back to back of each other. Anyway, so for this one, I did do a random number generator, and I got number 38. So I literally did it not just from the numbers that I gave you guys to pick, but for my entire TBR. I thought I'd open it up a little bit more. And the book that was picked, or book number 38, is A Walk in the Woods by Bryson. This is another nonfiction novel. Yeah, it's nonfiction. I'm going to say it's nonfiction. Now, there was a movie made of it, and I read this book a number of years ago. The movie was with Robert Redford and I want to say Jeff Bridges. Am I saying that right? And it's about a man. It's about Bill Bryson. This is what actually he did. And he's a fabulous writer. I really do enjoy his stuff. And he decides to walk the Appalachian Trail. And this is the story of him doing that. And like I said, I read it a number of years ago, and I really enjoyed it, and I would really love to read it again. I read it the first time in print. I think if we pick it this month, I'm actually going to listen to it on audio, because I really do love his audiobooks. Most of his audiobooks he narrates himself, and it's really, really enjoyable. So, again, let me know in the comments below if this is the book that you guys would like to read. And the last number that was picked was number 142. And this corresponded to a Harlequin American romance novel. With all the Harlequin books on my TBR, I'm surprised that only one ended up on the list. And that is Montana Vet by Ann Roth. This is not part of a series, and this is the story of a woman who runs a shelter. She's a vet, obviously, and her and a man in town starting a relationship, and he's got his own baggage. He's dealing with a teenage ward. It doesn't say whether it's his niece or... I don't think it's his child, because I think they'd say that. But it just said ward, so for whatever reason, he's looking after this teenager, and the two of them kind of dealing with that. I find these books are very, very low, if at all, on the adult content side, so this one might be a really sweet read. From what I remember, I've read a bit of Ann Roth before. I think she steers to the very mild end of any adult content. I like to let you guys know that, because I know not everybody is into that, even though you watch this channel and you might like contemporary romance, which is what I read the bulk of. But I still like letting you guys know, about that, and what I'm even considering doing in the future. I know this has nothing to do with the video, but I thought I'd mention it anyway, is when I do my wrap-ups, and I think I'm going to start that for my July wrap-up, is to let you guys know the steamy content. Just so that way when you're going into a book, you're not surprised. Or not surprised if you were expecting it and you didn't get it. So anyway, again, let me know in the comments below if this is the book that you would like to read this month. But anyway, guys, that is it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I think we got some really good books to pick from this month. I'm super excited. And again, like I say, you can read these in any way that you want. If you pick up the book from your library, if you own a copy, if you want to read it as an ebook, if you want to read it as an audiobook, however you digest the content is completely up to you. But like I said, leave me a comment below. What I'm going to do is I'm going to let this go for like a week. Now, this video is going up on Monday. It's Mondays today that you guys are seeing this. Sorry, I do pre-film. So this is going up on Monday. But I'm going to let this go until Sunday. And on Sunday, I'm going to sit down and tally up all the votes. And I'm going to do a quick little 2 or 3 minute video to let you guys know what book has been picked. And yeah, we can go from there. So anyway, guys, that is it. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Again, please vote below. And I will talk to you guys in my next video. Until then, take care and happy reading, everybody. Bye.